What's up? I'm Ryan Hollins. We're at ClutchPoints HQ, and this is Double or Nothing.
Ryan's known for his spicy hot takes on popular shows such as ESPN's First Take. Today on Double or Nothing, he'll have the chance to double down on these takes or back off by choosing nothing. First up, we have his stance that LeBron's Heat teams were not a big three.
Can you really call Miami a big three? I know.
Yes.
Look.
What?
Bosh is a baller coming in.
I'm going to double down on this. But for one, I want to let everybody know Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer. He's a baller. He's a guy, one of the few that I actually could not guard. This was LeBron and Wade. And honestly, this was an age-old argument where a lot of people agreed with what I had to say. When you look at the way they played, the guy who had to change his game the most was Chris Bosh. So ultimately, what made this team different was LeBron and was Wade. No diss to Chris Bosh.
Rajon Rondo is a better player than Chris Paul right now.
It kind of sounds like you're saying Rondo is a better player than CP3.
Absolutely. Rondo is healthier right now. Just by health alone, he's going to be able to give you more.
Yes, this one made a big stir. I'm going to double down on it. Why? Because I'm talking about the now. The only question here with Chris Paul is health. Is he healthy enough to move, to run around, to play a full season? When I look on Rajon Rondo, who only hurt a finger, he was the guy without LeBron James who led the Lakers past the Warriors. So currently, I would take Rajon Rondo and also understand that Lakers locker room, and that was the ultimate topic of the subject. So if Chris Paul is healthy, lean, the knee is okay, I'm taking Chris Paul. But right now in the now, I would have taken Rondo.
The Milwaukee Bucks would have made the playoffs if Giannis wasn't even on the roster.
Taking the couple off the Bucks. Taking the couple off the Bucks. They make the playoffs.
The Milwaukee Bucks would have made the playoffs without Giannis on their roster. I'm going to double down on this one. Understand, that was a very good and well-coached Bucks basketball team. Look at the battle for 7th and 8th seed. It was Detroit, Miami, Charlotte. Are you kidding me that squad wouldn't have made it? So that was a very defensive sound team. Brook Lopez shooting the deep three, stretch five, may have been the biggest cheat code in basketball. He led the league, or some wild stats as far as having three-pointers made, contested threes, and block shots. So I would definitely put that team in the playoffs. Heck of a job by Coach Bud.
James Harden is a quality and serviceable defender.
Is he a good defender, yes or no?
He's a quality and serviceable defender.
When he wants to be.
Guys, I'm going to have to double down on this one again. Understand, James Harden was first in deflections in the NBA, and he was number 2 in steals. Now, you guys all know the Matador defense that he plays and has played, but ultimately, James Harden was too smart for his own good, knowing that my 2 or my 3 would outbeat how many points that you can score. So James Harden, when pressed, when needed, he played some defense. But everybody falls in love with the highlights of him not playing D. But trust me, when James wants to, he can defend.
I am not fully sold on the Brooklyn Nets.
I am intrigued. I'm not fully sold on Brooklyn right now.
Guys, I gotta double down again. Does this mean Kyrie Irving forgot how to play basketball? Does this mean Kevin Durant would never play again? No. Kyrie is a guy who I've played with, my guy, great guy by the way, who is very good, but guess what? He's had questions with injuries. We have to know that Kevin Durant is going to fully heal up and be able to play at a high level. Where's the leadership in that locker room? Kyrie struggled with leadership. Kevin Durant, we know he's a dog on the court, but he hasn't played that leader role yet.
Steph Curry and Kevin Durant's Warriors would run laps around Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen's Bulls.
They would run laps around that Bulls team, yo. Are you kidding me?
Okay. Can I quadruple down on this? Now, whoa. You take this as a disrespect to Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. If they played, I would assume Michael would average around 40 or 50 points a game. There's no one to guard him. But guess what? By committee, the Warriors have long, athletic, versatile defenders. And maybe there's no wearing him down, but you have enough to stay in front of him. The Warriors beat you with 5 different guys in their heyday. The Chicago Bulls, who's Luke Longley gonna guard? Tony Kukoc slides over to center. Dennis Rodman, okay, Dennis, go get 20 rebounds, but guess what? We're gonna roam off you and not guard you. But then guess what? I know that the big statement is, well, what rules are we playing? Are we hand checking? Those guys are tough. I think they could play in that generation before too.
LeBron James is the greatest basketball player to ever live?
LeBron James, the greatest player ever?
Ever.
Whew. This is a big one. And I'm gonna also double down on this. I'm looking at playing style. So ultimately with less, what does LeBron James do? LeBron James is a facilitator and scorer. LeBron James is gonna go down in history in the top 10 of points scored and assists. LeBron takes less and he makes more. And he doesn't just do it, he does it at a championship level. The other argument may say, LeBron James isn't a dog. He doesn't have the it factor. He's not tough. I competed against LeBron in the playoffs. And when I tell you I saw LeBron James get in killer mode, it's absolutely in him. In the year prior, the run that he made, the clutch shots, the biggest questions I have for LeBron being the greatest of all time, does he have a post game? Well, he improved that. Can he knock down a three-point shot? He improved that. We know his free throws are tripping, but we'll figure something out there. So ultimately, by playing style alone, I have LeBron James as the greatest player to have ever played the game of basketball.
The X factor in the Western Conference of the NBA is Russell Westbrook.
Who is going to be the X factor in the West?
Hands down, Russell Westbrook.
I'm gonna double down again, which means he had an ability to potentially go out and beat the Warriors. Now, might I add, it was the regular season. I know only the regular season, but the Thunder, with Paul George and Westbrook, and as athletic as that team was, they challenged the Warriors and beat them every time. In fact, they matched up incredibly well. They were arguably one of the most athletic teams in the league. Now, the big question with Westbrook, time, pace, tempo, shot selection, three-point percentage. For Russ on his A game, I believe had the potential, because he's a matchup nightmare, to go and beat the Warriors.
Giannis Antetokounmpo should not have been awarded the NBA's Most Valuable Player award.
You had a reaction I was not expecting at all. Please share.
He's not the MVP.
Whew. You guys love this, but I'm gonna double down again. And I want you to hear this. Giannis Antetokounmpo should not have been the MVP of the NBA. Giannis is one of my favorite stories in the league. Let's put this on record. The kid literally slept in the gyms, had to share shoes with his brother, and came from nothing to be one of the best basketball players we have in the NBA, and potentially one of the greatest we have ever seen. But the performance he had last year, what I credit is consistency, his grind, his will to win last year, did not compare with James Harden's. James Harden did something that if you had told me would happen, I would have said is impossible. A guy shot the hardest shot in basketball, the contested three-point shot as a step back at a high clip. What we saw from James Harden last year, we may possibly never see again. And people say that James is a ball hog. Well, guess what? Go and double team James Harden. He will make the correct pass every single time he must. Look at his team. In the loaded Western Conference, there were points during that season where he missed Chris Paul, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, anybody that you can name. So the season that James Harden had last year, I don't even think can be duplicated. So Giannis, as amazing as you were, I cannot give you the MVP if I had a vote. Am I mad at it? No. Congratulations, big fella.
Giannis Antetokounmpo should not be compared to Shaquille O'Neal.
Let's pump our brakes on comparing Giannis to Shaq. I like that he dominates.
Shaq did it.
Because Shaq is just stirring and throwing his name into the media. He's trying to find a way to stay relevant. I like it. Cool.
I have to double, quadruple, however many times double down on this one. We got to pump the brakes on comparing Giannis Antetokounmpo to Shaq. I know Shaq was spicy in this take and he loved to throw out the comparison, but big fella, I love you and I can't let you do this. Why do I say this? Shaquille O'Neal is the most dominant player that we have ever seen. I grew up in Los Angeles watching Shaq, and at any given time in the throwback NBA where they could grab you, hold you, there were no spread floors and three-point shooting all around him, this man can turn, drop step, and dunk on your head. Now Giannis is probably the greatest thing we've seen since. People thought it was Dwight Howard, but Dwight normally got his dunks off of rebound putbacks or lob dunks. This man Giannis comes downhill, gives you a little Euro step, and dunks all over you. Shaquille O'Neal wouldn't even have had to do the Euro step. And interesting enough, I do agree with Shaq that if his game had have expanded and we played in a different time and era, he may have been doing similar.
Shaq claims he never elbowed you. He claims you ran into his elbow. What really happened?
First of all, my hand is there. You just ran into it.
No.
I did not.
Look!
I didn't touch him. What are you talking about?
Oh, yes.
Stop crying, Dirk Nowitzki.
So Shaq said I ran into his elbow. That is absolutely false. So here's the reality, Shaq, big fella, I'm gonna talk to you directly. I'm doubling down because you're wrong, okay? Whenever Shaq would be frustrated or whatever was going on, he would get on that left block. And as soon as Shaq was on the left block and he would be mad, he would turn and lead with that elbow. I saw Mutombo get several in the face. So when he finally hit me, and Shaq was my hero growing up, I knew that wasn't no accident, because a couple plays before, a guy in the stands yelled out, "Come on, Shaq, put that little skinny guy in the rim, put him in the rim." And Shaq heard him and got mad. And the reason I also love the big fella, other than that time when he bopped me and hit me, is because Shaq always showed me love. Shaq could have gave me a lot more of those elbows, but he didn't. Appreciate you for your time. That was Double or Nothing by Clutch Points, and I'm Ryan Hollins. Peace.